everyone. Welcome back to Real Life Bowling Podcast number 9. We are very happy to have you guys here. We've got special guest Mr. Matt Tuckfield with us. He is a 2-time USBC Open Championship winner, something that, I mean, most of us have never even come close to doing. And through his story, he's going to explain to us how he won 2 of them, how he was very close to winning more than that, and kind of just the team chemistry, the building of everything, and everything that goes along with winning an Eagle. So,
Absolutely.
Matt, we're very happy to have you here, man.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. Basically, throughout the time I'm here, I want to share the story of me joining the team and how the team's success kind of catapulted and how we had an amazing 3-year run, but everything that went into that 3-year run, including some of the stories and how I got on the team. But I first really wanted to start and focus on how our team was constructed, taking the bowlers themselves out of it, like not the person themselves, just the idea of them. So I joined the team as the last member of the core 5, and there were 2 people who are Jeff and Eric, Jeff Mersch, Eric Vermilia, Tony Lacaze, Steven, Novak, and myself are the 5, for those who don't know. Mersch and Novak and Lacaze are fairly even keel. Very, not a lot of highs, not a lot of lows, just kind of staying with it the whole time. And then myself and Eric were the 1 in the 5 hole. And we were a little animated, some would say. Like to show my emotion when I'm happy and sad. Same with Eric. Eric will let you know how he's bowling just by his looks. So the balance of 2 people who had highs and lows, and then Jeff, Tony, and Steven to be able to just constantly battle through it regardless of our highs and lows. I don't think you can have 5 youngsters on a team who are full of just emotion, because if things start going bad, you need those rocks in the middle to hold it from sinking. And at the same time, if you don't have a little bit of energy, if you get a Brooklyn strike and there's not someone there to really pump you up off of it, and turn that Brooklyn strike into a 3 or 4 bagger, which is the difference between top 10 and top 100. Like if you don't have someone to spark it, your team could suffer and not really capitalize fully. And then really quickly, I wanted to talk about our companion team. So when we went my 3rd year on the team, and I'll get into the stories, but my 3rd year on the team, went out there with a companion team of 10 elite bowlers at the time. It was our team. And it was Sean Ryan, David O'Sullivan, Jay Haggerty, Ronnie Sparks, and Clay Auerbach. Just studs at all levels of their achievements and numerous achievements. And when you had 10 people, mostly high rev rate players on the same pair, they got tricky. They got nasty. You got into disagreements because ultimately you're trying to score the best for yourself. So while we bowled well still, we came in top 25. We didn't think that was the right way to go about it. Not that we didn't enjoy bowling with the guys and everything, but just because we needed someone who we were going to be able to bounce things off and they were going to listen to us and not even question it. So we had the idea to put together a group of 5 girls, originally led by Amanda Vermilia, which was Eric's wife, which is Eric's wife. And we put together a group of 5 girls who, not really all best friends, just kind of like our group of people, not all best friends, but 5 girls who were literally, they were okay with just listening to us. They may have sacrificed a few pins along the way, a few dollars along the way, but they were completely willing to do it, to be in the moment with us. And yeah, we even had a lefty. We purposely found a lefty, Brandy Sanderson. We purposely found her, so Jeff had someone to see the lanes with the same. When we did doubles and singles, we made sure that Jeff and Brandy were on the same doubles pair, just so there was always another lefty for him. So if he was just solo, he had at least something to bounce off of. And then, the girls during practice, they didn't get to line up. They listened to us, and luckily they kind of liked polish, which at the time is what you needed, because you needed carry down because they hooked. So they were able to provide us just a bank. So when you go about constructing your team, don't just try to get the 5 best bowlers you can think of that fit in the cap automatically. Think about the player's personality, how they're going to blend. If you're going out there with a companion team, which I strongly recommend, because the first 2 years we didn't, and we had house balls going down the lane the first 2 years I bowled nationals. So that's a real thing, and that doesn't make it easy.
And just the environment that, you got one team trying to have fun and then another team trying to be serious, and it's just not mesh.
Absolutely. I mean, we still had fun when we bowled. I mean, there was always beer purchase, guys. I don't want you guys to think that we're the top team, but yeah, no, we absolutely. You need to be able to be in an environment that's friendly, that's gonna benefit everybody in there. And if someone, there's some great bowlers, unbelievable bowlers who are very focused on themselves, and that may not be the best person to go both nationals with. It's other team tournaments, yeah, but nationals, you got 9 games. And if that person's not willing to shoot 180, 190 for the betterment of the team, maybe he's not the answer for the 5th slot. There's points for him and everything like that. But some of that stuff, like I said, there's been multiple times. I know that Tony said it, I've said it, where we thought we were in the wrong part of the lane, but we had to suck it up, bowl the best we could in that part of the lane because it was best for the 5, the overall 45 games, which is what we always focus on. As our 2 Eagles are in, they're both in the all events for all 45 games, 5 bowlers, 9 games each. And that's what we always focus on. So we know how much like a 158 is just killer. Like you can't have 158s in there. So we do a really good job of that. And then, like I said, when you'll see the stories as they come, but capitalizing when you have it and getting lucky. And that's what it takes. That's all it takes, guys. It's not that hard now.
Yeah.
So, no, there's a lot that goes into it, but I really think a lot of people just rush to get the 5 best bowlers they can think of when they're going to bowl a team tournament. And I'm not the 5 best bowler in any category in anyone's mind, but I believe that I filled a good need for the team as the team evolved into a team, into a family. And that's how we looked at it. We looked at each other as a family, and everybody has someone in the family they don't necessarily get along with, but you're going to go to war for your family. So, oh yeah. So, all right. So that was my little essay or whatever you want to call it about how I think you should construct a team and
how to build a team.
Consistency is key, man. Consistency is key. Having the same people, having the same group, understanding each other, very key. Like I said, since I've joined the team, it was the same 4, and the only years we couldn't have Tony on the team was when he got selfish and won 2 PBA titles. So besides that stretch, yeah, I know, right? Tell me. So besides that stretch, it's been the same 5 until the enhancements came into play. All right. So real quick, our team name always been Junior Team USA Support. The original team started in 2005 with Eric Vermillion and Jeff Mersch. They were fresh out of college. Eric bowled for, he's going to kill me. He's going to kill me. I think it was Nebraska. Jeff bowled for UCF. And they started the team with Clay, Sean Ryan, and Billy Regatz. In 2000, between 2005 2006, they added, what's up?
I said Sean, back when he bowled.
Yeah, Sean Ryan. Yeah, he actually used to bowl, guys, not just win people titles on TV. He actually did use to bowl. So 2006, that's when Novak and Lacaze joined, and they just literally happened to pass Lacaze while they were gambling at the event. And he's like, hey, who are you guys bowling with next year? And they asked Tony to bowl, and he was just going out with his dad kind of as a fun thing, not as a serious thing. And when they had the option to add Tony Lacaze to their team, they instantly took it. So that was really the start of the team. And that year in 2006, they came in 28th, which is a great showing, especially back then when they used to have a lot of entries. 28th was no joke. 2007, the same 5. Eric and Jeff had a 25th doubles, again starting to kind of add up their resume. Eric has an unbelievable resume there. In 2004, Sean Ryan switched to the eventual companion team. They added a Vince Mazzanti. They 10th in team, which again just crazy. Then Amanda Vermilia, Eric's wife, replaced Vince. They came in 14th in team. 2010 is when the actual story and the fun starts. I just had to give a shout out to the past. 2010 is when I joined. So at the time, we'll take you to about 2 months before we're going out to the tournament. I'm coaching UCF, not really doing a lot of bowling. They're getting ready to go out there, and I get a call from good buddy, longtime friend Craig Hansen. And Craig says, hey, I was supposed to go out on this team, but I'm ineligible based off I have a PBA card. We didn't really communicate it, and there was 3 people with a PBA card at the time. So they had no one really to go to, and Craig vouched for me. And the only connection I had to anyone on the current team was I bowled with Jeff Mersch's brother, Jason, in college. But besides that, I had no connection with any of them. My name was kind of known, but it's not like they knew me. So Craig calls me. He's like, hey, do you want to do it? And like, luckily I was free, or I didn't have a tournament to coach. And I obviously said yes, because I had an opportunity to join a team that was already founded. So the only time any of them ever saw me bowl at all was about 3 weeks before we went out there, and I subbed on. Yeah, Anthony's heard this story before. So I subbed on Jeff Mersch's team at Aloma's house shot, and I was trying, guys, and I shot 489, making moves, leaving 210s and 4.9s and them. But yeah, I shot 489, and that was the only time he ever saw me bowl before going out there. At the time, I had a ponytail down below my back, and I was a college kid. I was 21. I was living life. I was enjoying myself. I also enjoyed gambling, so the opportunity to go to Reno a month after my 21st birthday, I was all in. Let's go. So I get out there. I meet Eric Vermilia for the first time, and Eric's got his polo shirt tucked in. His pants are ironed like 3 different times before he put them on. Perfect belt, perfect shoes, socks matching everything, the whole 9. And I have sweatpants and a hoodie on. And like, we couldn't have been more opposite. He's like 6'4", I'm not 6'4". So we couldn't have been more opposite of people. And Eric loved bowling. He loved this event, and I got a lot of the passion for this event from Eric over time, because I saw how much it mattered to him. So we get there and we bowl the side tournament, the BJ, the day before. And again, guys, 100% trying. For 4 games, I don't break 173. My footwork's atrocious. I look like I'm a 180 house shot bowler, and I feel like it almost. Like, I don't know what's going on. It's bad. And you can just, every time I miss the head pin on the first shot, you can just feel Eric getting more and more tense about tomorrow in the show. And, but like, I was pretty confident, still am. So I was like, I'm going to be fine. I was told I need to shoot 650. That's what they told me. We don't care what you do, shoot 650 in team. So the night comes, Eric wakes up to go get breakfast, and I pass him in the hallway, and I say, all right, I'm going to go to sleep. And he looks at me like dumbfounded. And he's like, what? And I was like, I've been playing poker all night. I'm going to go to sleep, catch a few hours, and then meet you guys down at the squad room. And like, he wasn't very happy that I didn't get to go to sleep the night before. But, stuff happens in Reno, right? That's not the thing. So yeah, I get a couple hours of sleep, meet him in the squad room. Practice goes no better. I'm signed in. They put me first. I'm 21 years old. I feel the moment is huge, and they decided let's put him first. So the first shot, I threw the absolute first shot. Man, I wanted to get this thing over with and started so quickly that I rushed up there. I wanted to throw the first shot. I throw it just as good as I've thrown any shot the last 4 games, which is atrocious. Leave 5 through the middle. Leave the 3, 4, 6, 7, 10. I can feel the eyeballs of Eric's laser beams just kind of going through my back. Like, I can feel them. They're hurting me at this point. I don't turn around. I don't even dare make eye contact. I pick up my spare ball, which was a Neptune at the time. I remember it perfectly. Picked it up I could have double jumped the entire bowling alley. I didn't care. I was going, and just absolutely aced the spare. And when that moment happened, the whole perspective, the whole everything changed. We kind of laughed. We had like a moment of exhale followed by laugh, because everything leading up to that moment was so bizarre. And then honestly, the rest of that day, it's a blur. I have here that I shot 204, 224, 193. I remember it did great in brackets, and I remember I was like, I'm going to go all in brackets because whatever, that's what I do. I went all in brackets, and I remember it being great. And I remember having a great time and thinking, wow, I literally shot 620 and they're pleased with me. Pulled another all-nighter the night before, shot like 630 in doubles and then like 570 in singles for 1850, which your first trip out to nationals, guys, if you've never been, there is nothing wrong with 1850. Your 10th trip out to nationals, there is nothing wrong with 1850. So the next year, we went out to Reno again, 2011. Between 2010 2011, Tony Lacaz won those 2 PBA titles I told you about. I believe it was the Earl Anthony and the Dick Weber. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe it was those 2. So he was ineligible to bowl on our team. Amanda Vermilia joined us back. I've known Amanda. She actually checked me in to my first junior gold event back in who knows when I was 15 years old, and had a very friendly relationship because she's like the nicest person in the world. And every year I saw her at junior gold, she remembered me. And so we had a small past. So yeah, 2011 core 4. We don't bowl great, but again, we shoot 1230 the last game of game 3 of team. That got us 50th in team, which, you know, was the start of the momentum. It was the start of the buildup. 2012 was the year we bowled with the companion team in Baton Rouge. We absolutely atrocious first 2 games. The combination of disagreements, just wrong place, wrong time, couple of personal things going on, and just bad shot making and execution. We bowled really bad. But we had one of those moments that our team seems to usually have after the first 2 games go and we shot 1220 game 3, so we went plus 220 game 3 to get to 3170 for the 3-game set. So we were minus 50 going into that game, and literally just kind of switch flipped it. Novak led the way with a 290 and one of those no doubter, because if anyone's ever seen Novak bowl, he sends pins everywhere, and it was fun to be a part of. And jumping into the 25th in team, it was a great momentum builder going into the next day. And the next day started off kind of funny. Game 1 of doubles, I'm bowling with Amanda. I shoot 169. And I was throwing it pretty good. It was one of those good 169s. Like, probably should have been 192, but got 6 and wrapped it or whatever it was. But it was a decent 169. And back then, that's when you were bowling on there was not fresh oil for doubles. That was whatever pair you were on when team before you was bowled. That's what you bowled on. You got I think it was 4 shots of practice. It was go get them. It was bad, man. It was fun because it was so challenging, but it was not fair because if you're following the wrong squad,
yeah,
good luck. But it kind of added to the allure of the event. So like I said, it was a good 169. It's like for anyone who bowls the UBA, it's one of those good 169s at UBA that don't kill you. Yeah, everyone knows what that's about.
Yeah, everybody knows the UBA.
Everybody knows the 169 at UBA. All right, so I tell Amanda, I go, Amanda, don't worry, I do this all the time. I guarantee 250 plus this game. And she, I don't care, just have fun, because that's who it is, and she truly does. So it lined up. I'm throwing different daggers on 2 lanes, playing them different, got lined up, had a 6-bagger, and I go to Amanda, and I'm like, I'm going to shoot 300. And she slaps me, and she goes, don't talk about that. And she's like, no, you don't bring that up. And I felt like I was going to shoot 300. I thought there was no question in my mind. So go front 9. First shot in the 10th frame is just one of those, if anyone's ever seen me bowl, when I duck miss left and you think it's going Brooklyn and it just magically pushes and trips the 4-pin. It was that shot. And I literally just tomahawked it down the lane. Ace the last 2 for 300. Shooting 300 at event, again, very cool. Everybody in the arena and the stands are watching you, cheering for you. One of those cool pressure moments that we live for as bowlers. And really, really just cool to be a part of the team. And, I always looked at myself up to that point and as not the best bowler on the team, not the bottom end bowler of the team. I felt like I needed to hold up my end. And shooting 300 there and being the first and only on our team to shoot 300, kind of cool, not going to lie.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah. So, oh yeah. I did miss one thing about 2010. Jeff Mersch and Eric Familia came in second in doubles, shooting 1507. They took the lead, both doubling in the 10th frame. So, and then they got past and like 3 weeks to go, which I remember how demoralizing it was. I was bowling league with Jeff. But watching how much work it took to get there and then to fall short is like, it's a gut wrench because you don't know that you're ever going to get there again. I mean, for two people to shoot 750 plus each, I think it was 758, 759. I believe that's what it was. It was crazy. And again, that was when you're bowling on a pair you've never seen before, and the people behind you did whatever they did to it. So it's not like it was a walled pair or anything like that. So yeah, getting to experience that as a 21-year-old, I think it helped me grow up. Because like it kind of made me realize how important every stick is when you come down to a 4-month tournament. So yeah, so that's 2012 was when I shot 300. I got to 1991 in all events, which was awesome. I forget what place it was in. But yeah, so this is where the story gets fun. 2013, this is Reno. We go out there for team and we light them up. I shot 706 in team. Novak shot 727. Lacaze shot 715. Mersch shot 651. And Eric shot 722. And we shot a 1253 the last game. So we went plus 250 as a squad the last game.
Game 3?
All of them.
Game 3, man. That's what we do. Like I said, guys, we understand game 1 that we're not going to shoot 1100. And like sometimes shooting 1100 is the worst thing you can do game 1 because you're already out of room or you're already close to out of bounds stretches. So like guys, if you watched our live stream, we go Brooklyn game 1. We have no shame going Brooklyn game 1, even into game 2. We'll line up in situations where if you miss, it's gonna duck hook and go Brooklyn, and we have no shame. We're cool with that. So don't try to be the prettiest bowlers. It doesn't always matter because I guarantee you our Eagles don't say how many Brooklyns we threw. I promise. Yeah. So we get out there. We bowl an unbelievable set at the time. So we shot 35-21. It was one of the only 10 3500s at the time. I believe it was the second or third highest team score ever. At the time, I still didn't know the value of it. I didn't get to bring everything in because I was so young to the environment still, but I felt Eric's want and passion for this. And we did an unbelievable job of not letting 3500 the night before affect how we walked into day 2. Because, there's some times where you walk in with such an insurmountable lead going into day 2 and you're just like, this is going to be easy. And the second you let off the gas a little bit, it's over. So coming out in doubles, Novak and Tony got into the top 20 overall. So they set a huge number for doubles. It was just one of those moments where we weren't satisfied with the 3500. We knew they were easy that year. We thought it was enough, but we weren't overall satisfied with it. We wanted more. We wanted to get to 10,000. We wanted to set a number for all events. So going into the last game, we needed something like 1,038 as a team to set the all events at the time, but we wanted a lot more than that. Is that me? No,
it's not you.
So yeah, we wanted a lot more than that. Yeah, so we wanted a lot more than that. At the time, I was actually bowling on a separate pair. The 4 guys were on one pair, and because it was doubles and singles, I was on a completely other pair, and I was with 4 girls and a backup bowler. So I'm watching them go down the lane and just move left and bang on it, and I'm like playing 15 to 12 and trying to get my ball to see it. So we were in 2 different worlds, and so when we do our huddles, because we're big into huddles, we're big into pep talks. If things are going down, we'll regroup. We'll bring everyone together. If things are going good, we'll slow things down. So we huddle. They're going into game 6. I'm only going into game 5. So I tell them, I'm like, hey, guys, make my job as easy as possible. Shoot 1,000 as a team, as you 4. So I only need to shoot like 170 at the worst, and we're feeling good about it. So Mersch shot 205, and the rest of the threesome shot 796 or 792.
Good God.
To shoot like 998 or something ridiculous. Vermilia shot 290, and like all 11 just destroyed the rack. I believe it was 290, 268, 255 for Novak and Lacaze.
That's a little bit.
And I'm bowling. Yeah, it was a little. And I'm bowling game 5. Like, it's weird when you're more attached to the other scores than you are yourself at that time, because like that's where the magic's happening. That's the cake. I'm just like icing at this point. So like it was hard usually to come back and refocus. And also at the time, Amanda Vermilia was going through some health problems. I won't get into the exact details of her health, but she had some health problems that prohibited her from bowling for. It ended up being 5 years she couldn't bowl for, but at the time we didn't know she was ever going to be able to bowl again. So while all this is happening, Amanda's career is coming to an end. And anyone who doesn't know, look up Amanda Burgoyne's success in youth bowling, Team USA, Junior Team USA. She's got all the awards, guys. College, she's got all the awards. So it was and bowling's a huge part of her life. So it was a very emotional mixture of absolute joy and like a little sadness. So, like I said, they shoot 1,000, game 6. I'm amped. I'm starting up. I know we got this in the bag as far as taking the lead. My first shot, I throw it out the window in 210. Ace the spare, and that was such a cool moment to have, like, because at the time I'm just a kid, to have Tony Lacaze, Novak, Mersch, and Vermilia standing behind me and meeting me with high fives. Like, that's a special feeling. It's if you were to cross with someone and they get into it. Like, it was a special feeling. It was the true start of the dynasty is when I finally did feel like I was with them, not below them. So we get to the 10th frame, and one of the coolest stories from our entire journey is Amanda's getting up in the 10th frame. I think she needs to double for 200, and I don't think she was bowling very well because she was in pain. If I'm not mistaken, she was pregnant with PJ at the time. And so she was dealing with pregnancy and that stuff. And she was dealing with pain. She was having a hard time. And she really wanted to shoot 200 her last game. And it was one of those things where, like, I wanted her to shoot 200. You wanted it to happen for her. And she gets to the 10th, and she needs to double. And I'm almost positive she had, like, an Amanda game where she was clean going into the 10th and needed to double for 206. Like, it was one of those games. The first shot of the 10th, she misses it at the bottom, doesn't really do anything to it. She was throwing it slow then. She throws it slower than I do, which is slow. Did I tell you, man, someone else had a different script, because she left a very flat 10 pin, and the head pin comes barreling off the wall into the lane and completely tomahawks it. It was probably her third messenger of her career. And like, it was one of those, like I always describe it as a Cal Ripken's home run at the All-Star game for anyone who's older and remembered that. Like, his last All-Star game, he hit a home run, and I believe it was only his first home run in the All-Star game. It was something like that. One of those storybook scripts, and that messenger 10-pin was that. And she got up there on the next shot and just dead aced it to shoot 200. I'm hugging her. I'm in tears. She's in tears. And then I got to get up there and throw the 10th frame again. Like, I had to refocus. I was on a double, and I was on a double. I'm pretty sure I shot 235. So one of those things where if you go 9 spare or 9 out, it's 2-0, 2-10. Ended up doubling, throwing it really good. We ended up winning the all events that year by 28 pins. It was very close to being a double eagle, but some guys named Lodge Lanes with Vernon Peterson, John Gaines, Scott Newell, John Janowitz, and I'm blanking on who their 5th was at the time. But yeah, some guys like those guys, they ended up snapping us off. They set the all-time record to beat us by 17 pins, so that's how close it was. So we had the 4th highest set ever, and we didn't win an eagle. Eric and Mersch had the second, or had a 1,500 in doubles, and they didn't win an eagle. So we're sweating this team all events, and we are not confident about it because we've already what we thought have won Eagles and had them taken away from us. The one JJ said it the same weekend we were out there. I'm pretty sure he flew in when we flew out, and they said that night. But when we dodged their all events, because they beat us in team and we still beat them in all events by a decent margin, that gave us a little bit of confidence. And then when we finally got that phone call is everything you want it to be when they tell you, hey, your score held. It's really everything you want it to be, because all those months of preparation leading up to the event, followed by the worst part, which is the nerves after you can't do anything. Like, you're already done.
Yeah.
It's like waiting for the cut lock on the bubble. There's nothing you can do except for just twiddle your fingers. So we got that call, and it was an awesome moment to get to share it with everybody, with it being Amanda's last year. But we weren't satisfied by any measure. We knew we were in the prime of our national career. We knew that we had the game plan figured out. We had the right grouping. Our companion girls team, like I've said before, they would sacrifice everything for us. They could have bowled on teams and try to place higher. Everything, they're good enough as themselves. I'm pretty sure they've cashed almost every year in team event, anyways.
It's pretty sick.
But yeah. So, it's awesome. Good girls, obviously. So that's when it all came together. 2013, it's crazy because in my mind, this was just Tony's year. This is how I when I wrote my notes, it literally says 2014, Tony's year. That's all it says. But when I dove deeper, we bowled all right. Like, we ended up coming in 12th in team, which most people would be amazed with. And again, we did what we do. We went 1050, 1160. It was a really high scoring year. And then we finished game 3 with a 1268. That 1268 had a 193 in it because the left side was just dead impossible that year. So yeah, we shot 1268 with a 193. Just one of those moments where 266, 255, 289, 265. You're missing once and twice as a person, as a team, and we pulled off a lot of those runs. But that paled in comparison to what Tony Lacaze did. I'll read off his scores because they're more impressive every time. Team event: 250, 226, 289 for 765. Doubles: 224, 239, 279 for 740 or 766. And then singles: 222, 265, 279 for 762. So
That's unreal.
Just crowbarred him, man. He threw the venom shock every shot. In minors, I couldn't get the 10 pin to go down, and his didn't even try to stand. And I'm pretty sure he left 2 full lines in there, in critical spots. So no one wants to say 2273 could have been higher, but it could have been higher. And when he won that event, when we got the call that he won that event, I wasn't just as excited as when I won the Eagle, but I was pretty damn excited that he won the Eagle. We took it. We looked at it. He even looked at it as a team Eagle, even though it says individual all events. So it was still something special to be a part of. We used that momentum to go into the next year, into 2015, which is the year that I remember vividly. The team, this was in El Paso. The team was hard, guys. That was the year where you could miss a head pin left on OK shot.
We bowled that year. Queso bowled really good that year.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
No, it was the year after I bowled really good, remember?
Yeah, El Paso was 1668.
Was that El Paso? I thought that was
El Paso.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We'll talk about that.
Yeah. So there you go. They were dead hard, guys. I mean, when I tell you could miss the head pin left on OK shots, you could.
Oh,
Your
absolutely.
ball could just see it instantly, and
flat.
just then you got the fence with the rail. It happened. So we were getting frustrated during team, man. It wasn't looking good. We really wanted to win an Eagle for Tony because Tony only one person in history has ever won an Eagle 3 consecutive years. And like the whole time leading up to it, it was like 3 for Tony, get this one for Tony. All of our pep talks were, yo, let's go out there and get this for Tony. Like we wanted a Hall of Famer. We wanted to cement our legacy. And Tony winning 3 straight was going to be our legacy. So we rallied behind it. So let's see here. We shot 33.59 in team with an 11.96 the last game. So again, we got to plus 360 and 200 of it was in the last game. Just like I don't have the scores written out, but just one of those things where once it starts clicking and once we see it, that's where that team building and having the right 5 people, because everyone's talented enough to strike, but it's being able to strike in unison and getting those big games and climbing up the leaderboard, where we shoot 1100, which is a good set. We're barely in the top 50. And that's how small of a difference this tournament is. So they were impossible. When we shot 1196, guys, we thought we won the Eagle. I believe only 2, we go out really early every year, so it's kind of a hard test, but I believe only 2 teams were plus before us. We thought we won it. We were almost certain that was an Eagle. We thought we had it for Tony, and to the point where we were like, hey, let's go get team all events now. It wasn't like, let's go get as many pins as possible. It was, hey, let's go double Eagle now. Like, we have this look. We have it. So we get out there in doubles. I remember this set very well. This is on YouTube. I've watched it. And then, I won't say how many times, but quite a few. Quite a few to say the least. So doubles, fresh pattern, I found it hard. The rest of the team didn't. I wanted to move left. I moved left early. They didn't really like it, and I could kind of feel that we weren't in unison. I never fully committed to anything and found myself shooting 184 off the bat. Took it in the shin game too, moved right with some surface and literally just tried to play it safe. Unfortunate split left late, shot 180 again. The rest of the team, though, we were bowling all right. I'm pretty sure we flirted with 1020, 1080 the first 2 games. So we were like plus 100, which again, they were hard. I know we had a couple of runs at the doubles lead. Lacaz and Novak put a little run together. Novak had like front 7 game 3, and Mersch and Vermillion were in a chance too, and then Vermillion completely lost ball reaction game 3, shot like 170. Luckily, I was able to go back 9-ish for 240. Shoot another like almost 1100 or 1050. And so now we're at like plus 580 going into singles. And we make it a goal that we're going to get to 10,000. We make it a complete goal. We're gonna get to 10,000. And before the last of doubles was Vermillion, and Vermillion was dead lost, guys. He had the stones the first 2 games and then just completely didn't see it, started executing poorly. Novak went to him and was like, hey, try your burgundy hammer. And I remember thinking, what? Like, just dumbfounded. And Vermillion was too, but he was so lost, and I knew that he just needed something else. And maybe the burgundy hammer was the ball that he got to go 9-spare double, 9-spare, 9-spare with until he figured it out. So I was okay with that. He threw it, and like at 38 feet, it was one of those, oh, it's the right ball. Like you knew it was going to be the right ball. So he makes a ball change to the burgundy hammer from a game breaker to like the not a normal lateral move. So we get into singles and we're feeling it, man. We're starting to feel the groove. We're starting to string some strikes together. Game 1 was good, not great. And like I said, by good, not great, I still mean like 1150. Then is when things get interesting for me personally. Game 2 of singles, I started off strike 3-6, and I chopped the 3-6. Didn't really let it get to me because I knew I had a pretty good look. I end up throwing the next 3. So I'm in the 5th frame. Things are going good now. Lacaz is lined up. He's striking. Mersch has a pretty good ball reaction on the left side. Vermilia's got that purple, the burgundy in his hand. Novak's honestly struggling, which is unique because he usually is the horse more times than not. But he was close. He was making all of his spares. So we had momentum, man. We were in position. So the 5th frame comes and goes, and Jeff Mersch, who's probably one of my closest friends, definitely my closest bowling friend, comes up to me and he goes, "You can strike out, man." And I look at him, I was, yeah, I got like a 260 look, you're right. And he's like, "Nah, bro, you can strike out. Like you can go sheet from here. You got that kind of ball reaction." And he was right, and I knew it. But so I started to feel it, man. I'm kind of getting into it. I'm getting really amped up. I'm getting amped up for everybody else who's striking. Like I'm into it now. I'm committed. I throw the next 4 through the 9th frame, just like my ball reaction is, just easy, nice, feeling good. I get up in the 10th frame. I'm kind of feeling myself. First shot in the 10th frame is just atrocious. I mean, absolutely atrocious. It could have gotten 3, 6, none. Like, it could have done any of those things because it was just dead right with nothing at the bottom. I didn't grab it. I didn't catch it. I just threw it to the gutter. And you see me instantly put my hands in my pockets and stroll off stream. Like, it was live streamed. And I just leave the stream. The ball hits a bumper or something and just trucks the 1-3, no doubter. You see Lacaz and Vermilia on the back of the stream. What happened? I take a minute to walk back. I have no idea how the ball hit the head pin, guys. It was crazy. It was just one of those moments, like where something else is in control. It's not even you. Something else happened. So I end up capitalizing, get the second one in the 10th, which you always have to do if you get a break. If you're not capitalizing on your breaks, what's the point of the break? So get the double, shoot 268. The rest of our team follows suit. We shoot like 1,200. So it gets to the game 6. 1168, we get to 10,000. And on the telecast, Matt Cannizzaro goes, "Well, we didn't think anyone would get to 10,000. We didn't want to say it was impossible, but we didn't think anyone was going to get there." And like I said, our whole goal every time we had that 10,000 number. It didn't matter what we shot the game before. All that mattered was how much closer it got us to 10,000. I shot 268, but I helped shoot 1150. So getting into game 3, we're feeling it. I strike the first shot. All 5 of us strike, and it's happening. So get up there in the second frame, and the moment gets huge all of a sudden, and you can watch me on the approach kind of chuckle and laugh and try to shake it off. Because even though it was only the second frame, I was already in the 10th frame, and at the time it would have been striking out for 300, 803, and a singles eagle, with an all-events eagle, with a team eagle. Like, all of that is rushing through my brain, and it's the second frame. And, it's one of those holy moly moments, like you're overwhelmed quickly because the reality of it was there. Like, I know it was 10 frames away, but we've all been in those zones where you needed to shoot something big and you had it and it was like, oh, I'm going to do it. We've all popped off 270 the last game to sneak in, stuff like that. So I knew it was there. Probably the one shot in my career, if I could pinpoint a shot that I want back, it would be this shot. The ball didn't get right of 17. It didn't get left of 17. I literally just threw it up 17 and said, oh, who knows? I ended up leaving a 3-pin, which I was elated about. I come back. You can see me nonchalantly laughing. I grab my bright pink DV8 spare ball, and I missed the 3-pin by a mile, guys. It would have made like the 5-10. It was bad. It was just one of those moments where I was completely deflated from not throwing a good shot, and I just never refocused. And I was very upset after that. You can see me just not very happy. No, I'm pretty sure I bruised my leg in a couple of spots. I was disappointed. I was upset and disappointed because like that's the team. That's not me. That followed up with 2 opens also in the same frame. So like I started to feel it. Thankfully, I threw the next 3 because if I would have found a way to like bone an 8 or wrap a 10 or something like that, I'm pretty sure I would have come unglued. But thankfully, nothing bad happened the first 3 because like I could see myself getting rather upset pretty easily at that point in my so get the first 3, and then Lacaz has front 5, Novak has front 4, Vermilia has strike spare 3-bagger, Jeff's got a double. Like we're moving. Novak gets a little lost, still shoots 250. Vermilia opens the 9th, spares the 10th for 240. He took the all events lead at the time. Mersch misses a single pin, but then throws the back 5 to get to like 220. Lacaz goes front 9, little in 9 pins for 270. I end up striking out in the 10th frame for 268. When I double in the 10th frame, one of those moments that I'll never forget because I absolutely aced them. Just one of those, if this doesn't strike, something's wrong with the universe shots. So when I was getting ready to throw my field ball, I remember listening and hearing Novak say, if he strikes here, he's a pin short of the lead. And I had no idea what I was shooting, what the lead was. I was just focused on getting our team to 10,000. And when he said that, I'm kind of glad he did because it refocused me for the fill because at that point I'm like, oh shit, like 7 could be, like a 7 count here could be 2 spots and a couple $100.
Yeah.
So refocused, we got the hit. Ended up coming in 4th that year in singles or 5th that year in singles, 19th in all events. So we're leaving there, man. We're in El Paso. We didn't go do anything. Like I said, we were a family. We stayed at the house that we rented. We didn't go anywhere. We cooked at the house we rented. It was, I don't think we went anywhere but the bowling alley and to the house. And we thought we had 2 eagles. We thought we let more slip through our fingers, to be honest, because Eric had a pop at all events. I had a pop at singles. They had a pop at doubles. And we're living the good life. So throughout the rest of the year, we're chatting in our group text. We're going back and forth. We're dodging bullets because Eric knows exactly when everyone's bowling. We get to the Adam Barta, Rob Gottschall team, and they put together an unbelievable performance. They clutch it up in the 10th frame. I'm pretty sure they needed stop it. They needed 4 doubles in the 10th frame, no opens. Gottschall gets up there, and for all the cheese, man, he doubles, they win an eagle. He doesn't double, we win an eagle because they were one of the last roadblocks. They were late, and clutch 2 in a row, man. Just doubles. You know, when someone beats you, there's not much you can do, and he beat us. They doubled to win. There was no breaks, no nothing. They doubled to win, and that was demoralizing because we thought that was the winner for sure. We held on to win all events, which was super, super special. Yeah, man, and that's our story. There's a lot of other little ones along the way, but it was an unbelievable 3-year run. We shot 10,000 3 consecutive years, 3 eagles, or 3 straight eagles for Tony, 2 straight team all events. 2 second places in teams, a 5th in singles, a 9th in all events, 2nd in doubles along the way, numerous 10s and team all events along the way. It was awesome. 2016, we didn't think we bowled great. We talked about this earlier, where when you get called up in the squad room for a previous champion, I personally get called twice because I shot 300 and previous champion twice. You walk out there that first year, that first time you see the eagle next to your name on the scoreboard, the first time you see the banner, getting those watches, makes whatever the journey was for it worth it just in that moment. And then you're receiving your watches, everyone's congratulating you, and over the PA system they go, practice begins in 2 minutes. And you don't know where any of your stuff is.
No one's ready for that.
No, nothing, man. And like I said, you don't know where anything is because the staff brought your stuff out because you had to walk down the aisle. So, like, it's just somewhere behind your lanes. Some of us didn't have our shoes on, probably shoes on, but me, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, you don't know any of it, and it's just boom. And then next thing you know, you're in the fourth frame with no doubles and at least one open, and you're like, wait, what just happened? And you have to try to focus so quickly, but like winning back-to-back years or repeating is just not easy. Like, I don't think we bowl as good if we win versus being in second in team events because like we're so hungry, but it's something else. And the moment, the atmosphere, the tournament, like I said, we got a different discussion when it comes to the enhancements that they've made lately, which has since caused our team to split. The last year that we bowled together as a 5-sum was weird. Every small break that we didn't get hurt us that much more because we wanted to win so bad because it was our last chance. So like every time a decent shot 10-pinned instead of striking, it hurt us that much more. So it wasn't a good recipe. Stop it. A good recipe for success. It was forced. Last year we went out there with 20 of us, 2 different groups of 10. We staggered our team squad, so we're not bowling against each other. We were behind the other team the entire time. They were behind us. We made some in-roster moves, and we think we got like the right group of 10 guys, 10 girls going out there. Whenever we go out there next, hopefully next year, but you never know. So yeah, man, that's the story. Yeah, safety first, for sure. We're not forcing it. As this year, there's a chance I'm going, but that's still up in the air. Obviously, if the event goes, but I had an opportunity to bowl with a special group of guys this year, so my team said go for it. But as a team, we are not bowling this year. We're going to take it upon ourselves to, do what's right, not anything. And as soon as it's safe, we determine that it's proper to do, then we'll, gladly look forward to going again. But we're no longer named Junior Team USA Support. We are now named Enhance This and Enhance That. So that shows you on some of the changes that have been made recently. But yeah, that's our story, man. That's our
awesome,
journey
man.
of
Thank
how
you.
we got there to 2E. Yeah, man. It was, thanks for having me. Thanks for letting me share this.
Of course.
Yeah, man.
If anyone has any questions about anything, always open. And yeah, it was a good time.
That's
Good
awesome,
stuff.
dude. The whole where you talked about the moment getting bigger than you. I feel that that's so easy to do when you're not just bowling, but you're bowling for 9 other guys. Like that, it's so easy to let that take over you, and just you learned as you bowled more and more. It's it gets easier to control, but it's still never easy to do.
Yeah, so like the crazy thing is with our team shots were easier than individual shots out there. The camaraderie that we had made like team shots, like that moment got too big because myself was included. So I was bowling for I and us. But when you're bowling, for the team in that moment, it's a different feeling. And I don't think it's easier. I think our team strives under it. And again, like that's what makes if you look at the teams who have success, they have success year in, year out.
Absolutely.
Like the Higgins Pro Shops, they have success year in, year out. And you'll get some great teams that'll put together a 5-man roster that you're like, oh, how are they not going to win the Eagle? I remember when all the PBA guys were bowling it for the stretches. You're like, oh, I got to bowl against them. And like, it wasn't always as easy as that. Like there were times where other guys just showed
completely
up.
different environment. And that's bowling.
That's what makes
environmental.
bowling. Oh yeah, team bowling is the best, man. I'll bowl. I'll support any team tournament that I can find, because it's it's what I enjoyed best. College bowling was some of my favorite bowling. Coaching college were some of my favorite fondest moments. So yeah, man. Yeah.
Definitely.
That's awesome, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks so much.
Yeah, wrap it up.
This is a good story. Go for it, Queso.
All right. So thank you, Matt, for joining us, man. We really appreciate that. We'll probably, we'd love to have you on again, maybe with Jeff, different perspective, things like that.
Absolutely.
We appreciate you supporting the channel. Thank you so much. Everyone watching, make sure you check out Motive, Coolwick, and Bowler Smart. They support us very much, so you go and support them if you can. Make sure you like the video, comment any questions that you have, hit subscribe, and hit the notification bell to let be known whenever we upload. And likes for the puppy.
Likes for the puppy.
We'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much.
Later, guys.